Well, so I lost my normal sunglasses and I had picked these up. I don't remember what the hell I got these for. And I look like an astronaut. This is so weird. I don't remember where I got these or someone gave them to me at one of these events I went to. And I mean, the coverage is cool, but I feel like I'm flying an F-16 in the shape of a potato, which is kind of what my Toyota is. But in any case, folks, good morning. Oof, that was a nice bump in the road. So real quick, I'm not going to be on too long. It's going to be a busy day for me, but after action, what can we learn from what just happened in Russia, right? Now, on the Russian side, it was an earthquake, 8.8, which is, I believe, from what I saw this morning. Hey, good morning, KP. What I saw this morning, that was the 6th most severe earthquake in recorded history. Hey, Neil. So it displaced 4 other earthquakes, including the one that we had in San Francisco, I think. Jeez. In any case, that was a major earthquake. It was bad. Russia posted some videos. There's very few videos coming out of Russia ever since the war started. But what I did see from some of the islands that are kind of in that gray zone between Japan, China, and Russia is buildings were just like offices, the filing cabinets were falling on people. I don't know if there were injuries. There was a fishing town just got flooded. But generally speaking, this was an interesting phenomenon because we always look at, when we look at incidents, right, as a preparedness community, we tend to look at extremes, right? We're either like, it came out of nowhere like a tornado, right? You can get tornado warnings and not get a tornado, and all of a sudden, boop, there's a tornado. It wasn't like a tornado. It wasn't like physically being right on the earthquake. I mean, there were people in Russia, yes. But from the U.S. side, Hawaii, the West Coast, it was hours before the shock wave and the water made its way across the Pacific. Hey, good morning. So this was interesting because we usually think either a spontaneous thing, nuclear bomb, earthquake, tornado, right? Bam, it happens. Or we look at the other extreme, slow-moving things, storms, a hurricane, right? Economic collapse, where you kind of see things happening. Because economic collapse doesn't always happen spontaneously. They're kind of like precursor events before it happens. This was one of those, like, somewhere in between. It happened spontaneously in Russia, but then there was an aftershock that traveled across the Pacific, headed to the rest of us. And the water really moves. Yeah. Hey, Michelle. So it was very interesting to kind of watch how that played out. Now, I posted a short video, which, I don't know who that is. I posted a short video earlier, or last night, and it had footage of Hawaii. Now, for those of you who've never been to Oahu or the Big Islands in Hawaii, because the Hawaiian Islands are basically mountains with island around them, if that makes sense, the roads are limited. So if you're in Honolulu and you're trying to get to the high ground in the middle of the island, there's only like 1 or 2 routes you can take to get there in a very quick manner. And what wound up happening is,
that's all your messages.
What wound up happening is a lot of people wound up panicking and all left at the same time. And then what you had was in downtown Honolulu, you had a traffic jam at sea level, and people couldn't,
that's everything.
And people couldn't make their way out of the city, and it was taking a while. People were complaining about not being able to charge their cars. Again, if you have an electric vehicle, I'm not against EVs, but you have to understand the limitation of what you're driving. It was interesting because it was enough time for people to know it was coming and react, to really plan,
That's all your messages.
to really what you were doing. And you didn't have a lot of time to think about it. You just had to go. And this is where you start running into trouble, is when you have those kind of incidents where it's enough time for everyone to freak out, but not enough time to really get a good plan in place. So a few things I took away from this, having been through multiple hurricanes and watching people try to evacuate. One, have multiple routes. And if you live in a place like Hawaii, where you have limited options of getting from A to B, you need to set a threshold. And when I say a threshold, in other words, you need to set a plan where you say, if we get a a tsunami warning, and you live in Honolulu, the minute we get the warning, we're going to be out the door in an hour, right? You don't wait and think about it. You set the threshold in advance, so you're immediately going out the door and reacting, if you catch my meaning. Two, make sure your vehicle is ready to go at all times. Now, again, whether you have an EV, you have a gas vehicle, you ride a motorcycle, ride a horse, whatever, make sure your mode of transportation is ready to go. If it's not ready to go, that's going to be a delay. And if you're on a timeline and you're like, oh, I have so many hours to get the hell out of here, and you can't do it, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to have these crazy astronaut glasses. I lost my normal sunglasses, and I found these in the back for those of you who came late. And these are, I don't remember where I got these, but they look wild. You need to understand the limitations of your vehicle. If you have an EV and you know you have to charge it, there's no reason. Holy hell. I swear they waited till I started the live stream. So if you know you have an EV, there's no reason it should not be getting charged when you're at work and getting charged when you're at home. You should constantly have it plugged in if you're not driving, okay? Not knocking the EVs. There's certain environments where they're great options, but you need to understand the limitation. You have a gas vehicle, it needs to be full. If you like driving around with 1/8 of a tank and the little E symbol on, and you have to evacuate, now you have to make a stop. And everyone else who didn't think about it is going to be there too, and you just caused yourself a bunch of problems. So you're going to have a lot of issues if you don't plan this out in advance. So make sure you know your routes, you have your options. Hey, Hutch, know your routes, have your options ready, and keep your documents. I said this last night on the Horseman, have your documents ready to go. Have IDs with you at all times. Have some cash with you. Okay, if you know, okay, if I get a tsunami warning or earthquake warning, whatever the danger is, and I have to go, you need to be able to leave within an hour. You don't want to be hunting for documents. You want to be filling up your tank. You don't want to be looking for cash, all this stuff. You want to get there and you want to go as quick as you can. So folks, just a few things I noticed with this particular incident. So could you have come any closer? I literally parked as far as I could from all the other vehicles. The struggle is real with stupid people nowadays. In any case, folks, look, be smart. Take some time this week and ask yourself, if I have to leave the area because of a fire, contamination, a flood where I can't bug in, how many routes do I have? Look at your gas tank right now. Could I evacuate to a reasonable distance right now? Do I know where all my documents are? Do I have enough cash in my safe or my closet or wherever you keep it to be able to move quickly? If you have pets, do you have an accommodation for your pets? Do you have a setup so you can take multiple dogs or kids or whatever quickly? And especially if you're like me, I'm a young empty nester, but I have a granddaughter. If she's staying with me, I need to factor her in as well. I need to be able to fit her car seat. We got to fit dogs in the other vehicle. I got to plan very quickly. So you guys think about it. Talk to your family about it. Tuck, show her the videos that I posted and say, look, this is why you need to have your tank full. If I'm at work and there's an emergency, you need to get out of here. You're going to stop at a gas station with this mess. And remember, this same thing happened in the LA fires too. A lot of people waited And then the ones who did try to leave didn't charge their cars, didn't have filled up tanks, etc. Don't be in that group. You want to be able to hit the road quickly and get out before everyone else freaks. So anyway, that's it for this one, folks. You guys be good, be safe out there. I will see you all later on.